I see they're trying to shadow ban us tonight. Well played, Facebook. Well played. Everybody that comes in, please share this. I'm sharing the link. We're going live any. Welcome. Oh, here we go. People are starting to filter in. We're starting in about 45 seconds. All right, is everybody ready? I see we're filling out nicely. Share it. I have my last share, and then we're good to go. Gotta get this up on Instagram for the people. Almost there. Everybody, link is in the bio. Go now and watch. All right, let's do it. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, John. We're going to interpret some news. It's snowing out. I know it's not Friday, but today I have a Coors Light to bring the frozen Rockies to me. Okay. Where do you think we're going to start today? Well, if you aren't living under a rock and you're heavily paying attention to the news, you knew that I was going to start with the guy's name that's on the flag behind me, Lord Cuomo. Well, here we have Andrew Cuomo, who's laughing, having a very good time. This was in the summer. And if I slide over the graphic, he is with Chris Cuomo, and they're laughing about his nose size and about how they had to swab him for COVID-19. It was all a laugh, it was all fun, and it was a big, big, happy, good time. The media was infatuated with Cuomo for quite some time. All the talk show hosts, all the talking heads on the specific stations thought he was very, very good. Well, last night it came out that Chris Cuomo was not allowed to cover Andrew Cuomo anymore. Clearly, that's a very wise decision with things that are going on. And I give CNN kudos for doing so. That would be a little bit of nepotism, I would say. Okay, hold on. It's getting hot down here. The oven's on. Snow day cook-off. Okay, so here we go. Where are we going to go with this? Well, the big story that broke out is... Well, before I get to the big story, which, again, needs to be addressed very, very much so, We have a fair report from Florida governor who had a quote, and it was, "I was criticized for not closing beaches while the media ignored nursing homes." Now, Florida, since day one, said nobody goes to the nursing homes that has a COVID positive diagnosis. Smart move, proved to be right, but everybody was really worried about him allowing people on the beaches while there was COVID, which was also a smart move and which proved to be right because of the high survival rate. It doesn't do well in the sun and the open air beaches. So, having said that, you would say, why did he get such bad flack for it, and why is Florida disliked so much, and how did Andrew Cuomo win an Emmy? Well, that's a very good observation if you said it, but now we have this coming out, and look who reported it, CNN. This is amazing that they reported it, and I give them again kudos. So there's a New York assemblyman, and he was called by Andrew Cuomo, and the quote was, "He can destroy me. New York assemblyman alleges governor threatened him over nursing home scandal." So this is going to develop, and we will watch how it develops. And again, extremely interesting stuff that this is real life. So Governor Cuomo called me directly on Thursday to threaten my career if I did not cover up for Melissa DeRosa and what she said. He tried to pressure me to issue a statement, and it was a very traumatizing experience, Kim said. Cuomo proceeded to tell the assemblyman, "We're in this business together, and we don't cross certain lines," and he said I hadn't seen his wrath and that he can destroy me, according to Kim. That night was very, very troubling because we couldn't sleep, and she's telling me, "What did you do to us?" This is his wife speaking. Stop what you're doing, please." Wait, hold on. Yeah, we couldn't sleep. Yeah. So she feared for my future and for my life. So we see that there's a very big problem with the way Andrew Cuomo acts. And being on the Max page and having dealt with the situation that everybody watched unfold, and everyone said, "Yeah, right, Andrew Cuomo would care to go after a bar owner in Staten Island." When you're a madman drunk on power, like Senator Palpatine in Star Wars, yes, you would go after the one guy that's out of line, that's breaking your whole entire operation down and ignoring your power. So when you get drunk on power, you do some things. And one was, they made sure to mess with Max as much as they could because Max was putting pressure on them. And this is proof of the way this man thinks. And it's all coming out, and my question is anything going to be done to it? I've talked to people, and I said, this man really should be removed from office. This is not a good situation. And the response was, yeah, but sometimes these types of things happen. That's not the answer. Again, I would like to set this straight by putting out an analogy, because analogies do wonders. Imagine there was a number cover-up by Donald Trump, and he said, "You know what? If there was 250,000 people that died while I was in office, make it look like 100 and say something else happened." I would be right there with you saying, that's corruption. The man needs to go. Nobody would stand for that, and I know the left for sure wouldn't stand for that, and they shouldn't. You can't cook the books, and you can't lie to the people about the numbers. And then threaten people that you're going to show your wrath and end their career. Does that sound like something Donald Trump might do? Yes. I'll give it to you. Sounds right up his alley, but I said Cuomo and Trump are two peas in a New York pod. However, I think one pea, in my opinion, my humble opinion, was better than the mafia pea of Lord Cuomo. Okay, so let's see. Kim's wife told CNN that she had overheard parts, all right? Yeah, the governor threatened to destroy my life, as well as the words, "my wrath. Who do you think you are?" This is literally disturbing that this is how politicians talk. I really think the general fiber of society has really gone to shit. That's really where we're at. But again, that's just me. So hold on one second. We gotta go forward. I already have that one, so hold on. Which leads us to ABC7 New York on Facebook. Mask up times 2. New York City Department of Health recommends that people over the age of 2 wear snug-fitting masks with 2 or 3 layers of material to better prevent unfiltered air from passing through. Alternatively, New Yorkers may wear 2 masks with a cloth face covering over a disposable mask. 2 masks is the new mask. I'm sorry, I'm working out of a construction zone for anyone that's hearing the background noise. The 2 masks is the new mask. New York City recommends double masking. Okay, here's my take on this. Tell me if I'm wrong. As vaccination rates go up, the more the mask wearing goes up. How the hell will we even know if the vaccines work? And again, tell me if I'm wrong. Has something severely changed with the survival rate that nobody gave an epic news flash to? Or is it all conjecture? Because I did read that the UK strain and the South African strain, they think is 70% more deadly. But remember, the death rate is real. The hospitalization rates seem to be going down. So where are these numbers coming from? Or is this coming from imagination land? I don't know. And again, remember, I showed you the other day, the flu took a permanent siesta and we put it into extinction. So on the list you have like dinosaurs, the flu. We did that. We ruined the day of the flu. The flu is over. So as you hear about the more masks, they tell you to get air filters for your house because COVID's going to break through your doors. It's all very strange to me. I had to respond to ABC's post, so I did, and this was my response. Interesting. New York State and New York City also recommended not eating in restaurants, even though the science proved it wasn't a big spreader. They also recommended putting COVID-positive nursing home patients back in the nursing home. When they died, they covered them up. New York State and New York City is a joke of leadership. I recommend the governor and the mayor resign promptly. I don't think they will, and I won't increase my layers of masking, period. Thanks for the recommendation, New York, but I think doing pretty much the opposite of your recommendation is recommended. Spell check turned it to or, but you get my point. I type quick. Well, that was the opening topic. Again, these episodes won't be forever an hour. They're going to be what they are. And I'm going to lead you right now to China and some information about China. From Business Insider, China is massively expanding its weather modification program, saying it will be able to cover half the country in artificial rain and snow by 2025. This was on December 4th, 2020. So, of course, I had to go do some more research, because you don't hear this plastered all over the news often, like, oh, China's manufacturing weather. Who really hears that often on the news? You don't. So, I did some searches for it, but before I show you the searches, I have some memes. All the snow will be gone in the Arctic by 2013, Al Gore. And now we have snow-covered beaches in Texas in 2021. Climate change is by far a real topic. I want to make sure everybody understands that. And we definitely exacerbate the problem, but if the planet was heating and cooling when there was dinosaurs here, I think the planet has its own, let's say, biorhythm. That's where I'm at. We're definitely screwing some stuff up for sure, scientifically. But when do you change certain things? Because like I said, I showed you an article from 1989 that said that the world would pretty much be underwater by the year 2000 from the I believe it was the United Nations. And it's not Waterworld, and Kevin Costner is not swimming around with gills yet. Maybe he is, and I don't know that he has gills. But here we go. United Nations report. The world must make dramatic changes to society, economics, and daily life to combat the climate change crisis. So everything now is diverting from virus and going to the climate change because the virus is getting close to its life cycle. The report also calls for government control of how power is generated. There's the climate change. And way people get around fish, farm, and what they eat. And we already heard Bill Gates saying that we should all be, specifically rich countries, moving to a plant-based fake meat substitute because, as the Green New Deal says, cows fart, we have to get rid of meat. This is getting crazy. I'm eating my meat. I am a carnivore. I accept the animal that I am. If you'd like to eat carrots, I give you the right. It's your choice. I'm not coming to take away your carrots, but please leave my steak medium rare. Okay, so back to that CNN search. What do we got? China to expand weather modification program to cover 5.5 million acres from CNN.com. Bloomberg.com. Has China mastered weather modification? It's all in December of 2020. China plans rapid expansion of weather modification efforts. This has been going on And honestly, depending on where you get your broadcast, and I'm always in the mix, and I assume there could be things like this, but this sounded much more on the conspiratorial side. But it's everywhere when you go and look for it, and you're like, holy shit, China's trying to become like Storm from X-Men, and they're able to do whatever the hell they want, right? So, is there a chance in some sick way that Texas is covered in snow and there's a crazy ice age hitting the United States? Maybe, because clearly it's in the news. Maybe they're testing it out on us. I don't know. It's probably not, but it could be one day, which is very scary. So we have this long history of allowing China to do many things to our country that we didn't even really know about, because depending on who was in power is kind of where the story went and how much we got to know about what China was doing. And it's pretty disturbing as more and more information comes out. From a humanity standpoint, I'm not talking about like, some sort of country point, race point. I'm talking about humanity. People that are alive and bleed blood like me, you. They breathe, eat, shit, live, die. So they match everything that it is to be a human.
And then we'll come to you.
And things are happening. But wait, we're going to go back into China. But first I'm going to let Jen take over. Jen, the floor is yours.
To you, sir. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. In an executive order that the president signed last week, he also suspended a Trump administration executive order that was particularly aimed at keeping foreign countries, specifically China, from interfering in the U.S. power grid. But he suspended that for 90 days in that executive order last week. Given what you said about China today, why did he do that, especially related to something so critical to our national security as the power grid?
I think the president's view on our relationship with China, I tried to do my best to convey to all of you. I'll have to check on that specific piece, and we'll circle back with you directly.
And then we'll come to
So there we go. So there you have it. China is involved with technology that's holding up our power grid. And Trump tried to remove them any way he could. And Biden signed an executive order that has given them access to still put their technology and their... I'm sorry that I'm not looking directly at the camera much. I'm watching to see if any comments pop up. That they're giving the technology to start working on our power grid again. What we need to assess and use common thought and logic. If you give up all of the ways of producing what you need and everybody decides you don't need it or we're going to charge through the roof for it, let's go that route with pipelines and gas, and we all go to electric and something goes wrong when we have solar and natural ways to produce it, and say we have to have a fallback. The price to have this fallback will go up because we'll have to get the needed things from other countries. Where that's at now is... Oh, wait, my machine's freaking out. Okay, I'm not worried about it. Facebook's messing up, but it's all good. So what we're at right now is they have access to the power grid. We're not making our own energy in general, so we're not energy independent. And you run into, like again, it's like a funneling into a small, between a rock and a hard place. If things go wrong, they go wrong extremely, extremely fast. I don't know why we want to give out every possible thing, medications, pharmaceuticals. When there's a shortage, you go, oh, well, we can't give our people medicine because we exported all of that to another country and they can't give it to us right now. Or if it all comes from China and we're at some sort of trade war with them, well, we're actually in the hands of China. And this is how you could say like Cold Wars and stuff. It doesn't have to actually be striking each other. It can be, you know what, don't give America what they need because they don't have the ability to make it themselves. We just keep turning over the things that keep us, and have it. I'm not saying they can't have some. I'm saying to sustain ourselves in case of an emergency. And we've seen this past year how quick an emergency can come. Now we are in the middle of the pandemic and we're struggling to get stuff, and it's like, well, we don't make that in the U.S., so what are we going to do? So now they have the hands on the power grid, and look again, as Texas's power grid is struggling, there's icicles hanging from people's home fans because of leaks that have occurred, and there's talk about how we have to get used to not being able to warm our houses along with eating that fake meat. So everything has shifted from virus to virus climate change very vastly. And again, we should be very worried about our climate, but at what price and at what rate of implementation? Well, here we go. Let me make sure I don't jump it. I didn't jump it. Okay. So here's some news. The other night, Biden was on CNN, did a town hall type of interview, and he said some pretty dopey crap. So of this dopey crap, here we go. If you know anything about Chinese history, and I'm going to say some stuff wrong on this because I don't really know how to speak all of these words. It has always been the time when China has been victimized by the outer world is when they haven't been unified at home, said Biden. And then he goes on to say that Xi Jinping likes to have a tightly controlled China. And that he's not going to speak out against what he's doing in Hong Kong with the whole freedom of speech movement, what he's doing with the Uyghurs, if that's how you say it, in the western mountains of China, which is the Muslim population, which are going into concentration camps. Culturally, there are different norms that each country and their leaders are expected to follow. I would play you the clip so you can listen verbatim, but there's more of a chance of this message getting squashed and censored fast, and they'll be like, oh, this is owned by CNN, and you can't spread it. Okay, so go find the clip yourself. It's there. Everyone can find it. But let's see what they're doing to these people, because I'm going to easily speak out on this because I, again, am a human and I respect life of all races, of all countries, of all people. Because, genocide's kind of fucking stupid. So, here we go. So more than 1 million Uyghurs and other minorities are held against their will in re-education camps throughout Xinjiang region. That's how I read it. I might be wrong because, again, I can't speak and enunciate everything perfectly from China. After Xi Jinping directed authorities to show absolutely no mercy toward prisoners, reports began emerging of the forced sterilization, systemic gang rape, there's the word systemic, okay, and torture of women by guards. I'm not even going to try and say that name because I'm going to butcher it, but I'll say Zai Wudan, which is perfect. Like Terznuze Wai Zudang, I think I said that pretty good actually, who fled Xinjiang after her release and is now in the U.S., said women are removed from the cells every night and raped by one or more masked Chinese men. She said she was tortured and later gang raped on 3 occasions, each time by 2 or 3 men, reporting to the BBC. Victims have also reported that guards use electric batons to rape women, electrocuting them from the inside. Does anybody have, like raise a hand? Anybody have a problem with that, no matter where you're located, no matter what country, no matter what color, no matter what sex? Say a bunch of women were pulling men out of a cell in England and then sticking batons up their assholes and electrocuting them.
That was easy.
Do we have a fucking problem with that?
That was easy.
But our president can't say that. And when Trump said there was issues with China, everyone said he's trying to start a fight because everybody is a big boxilla in this country. Everybody won't do or say what needs to be said because it might offend people. And this is where the offense is worried. Or we might piss off China. Yeah, guess what? When China's strong enough, they're coming at us. And they're going to try and take a swing right at your face. Don't matter. You could stay and hope to die before it happens. And then you just leave your lineage and your family behind to get blown up by China. But don't worry about offending people. Stand up and be the compass to the world of freedom and what's right. And that right there, that is not right. Biden shouldn't be afraid to say it. And if it pisses China off, keep a trade war going. Bring some manufacturing back here, get them the fuck out of our power grid, and take the sovereignty of the United States and worry about the United States. There's even reports that the groups that are still being funded are still funneling money to the Wuhan lab. I could not properly track the channels, so I can't actually report it. So I say reports, do the homework. But the way our country gives out money and they purge the money is just vomiting out of our pockets and right out of our mouths to everyone else, and even to China. Isn't this crazy? Does this not piss you off? When we said that they would eat our lunch, when they would eat Joe Biden, and Joe Biden went, come on, man. They're not going to eat our lunch. Well, you know what? They already finished that while you were running. Probably gave some more money to your son, and now they're eating your dinner. Dessert's next, old man. Dessert's next. They keep me heated, and you get good episodes, right? Good episodes. But what do we do to control the situation? Every regime changes the news, changes the history. This is why we have a problem with changing history, and this is exactly what happened with the big regimes that came in fascist Germany and Russia. Okay, so you're going to have to see exactly what I'm talking about. Now it's happening, and again, I've showed you proof that you could pretty much put anything up on Wikipedia. I told you that there's an article on Wikipedia that was edited in 2012 that showed that Forrest Griffin was brother of Blake Griffin, whose mother was, was Gorilla Griffin, who was a chimpanzee. You can write whatever the fuck you want on that. But now we're getting Wikipedia's leftist bias, socialism pages whitewashed, communist atrocities buried. Well, let's see where they're going with this one. 2 main pages for socialism and communism span a massive 28,000 words, and yet they contain no discussion of the genocides committed by socialist and communist regimes in which tens of millions of people were murdered and starved. It's normal. It's normal. I guess you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet, and that's what they want to do with our country, but on what level? Oh, that's right, conservatives. That's right. Oh, fuck me. The omission of large-scale mass murder, slave labor, and man-made famines is negligent and deeply misleading, economics professor Brian Kaplan says, who's probably soon to be canceled. Who has studied the history of communism. History's changed, buddy. Somebody better tell Brian Kaplan to go into hiding. The pages include plenty of history, Kaplan noted, and are not confined to just philosophical claims, but the history focuses on on the flattering claims. Wikipedia socialism page announces the Soviet era saw some of the most significant technological achievements in the 20th century, but they lost the race to the moon, they lost the Cold War, and their system sucks, and their people went and basically demanded the fall of the government. Wow. Did they point that out? That everybody had no toilet paper in Russia to wipe their ass? And if you were traveling to Russia after the fall, you had to bring a luggage of toilet paper to wipe your ass? That's a fact. That was taught to me in Russian class in 1999 at Staten Island Technical High School. Okay. Having read all that... Wait, make sure I didn't skip anything over. Nope, I didn't. Okay, having read all that, we're going down to this. Because we're getting close to the end of the episode, which have some of the really crazy topics. Activist suggests paying criminals not to kill to cut Baltimore crime rate. That's right. This is what the activists want. They want to put people that want to murder on salary so they don't murder for a payment. But let's see. So there was 335 homicides in Baltimore last year. A convicted murderer turned community activist in Baltimore has a radical approach. So convicted murderer, now he's free and he is a activist. And he has a radical approach to combating the city's stunning murder rate. Pay criminals not to kill. The controversial idea comes from Tyree Moorhead, who was 15 when he was put away for second-degree murder and spent 18 years behind bars. Let's just, how do you go about that? Do you go and file a job application? You go to the police department and be like, yo, I'm fiending to cut somebody tonight. Can I get paid, or should I just go and play pincushion? I don't understand how you even go about getting paid. How do you get on the payroll? Very interesting, because we live in bizarro land. Ah, crap. I forgot to give you guys the best video of the day. I'm going to have to put it in. And you know what? I'm showing it tomorrow. It's okay. I'll show it tomorrow. It's an excellent video. Here's another thing that we got, all right? Accidental blast during bomb-making class in Afghanistan kills 30 Taliban fighters. Oh, my God. I heard some good jokes about this one. Puns, if you will. I don't remember them, though, so they're gone. All I could say is when people are making bombs and learning how to make improvised explosive devices, IEDs, it's kind of funny when they blow up. And I'm not relishing their death. I'm saying they put themselves in a bad spot because they are Taliban fighters and they're really not about peace, democracy, keeping their people free and unoppressed. And they take place in stoning people to death. So usually if you're gay or you're a woman that they don't like any longer. So cheers to the explosion. Wish they didn't make a bad life choice like that. Next. Researchers are currently developing robots to help police communicate with each other, but activists are extremely concerned that these robots will show racism and bias against blacks, as per the New York Times. I have more of a concern about this than you can imagine. I think this is completely ridiculous, but this is my concern. That is the concern. The Terminator. The motherfucking Terminator. Have we not learned anything from the Terminator series that we make robots to protect humans, and then they realize that to protect humans from humans, they have to eradicate humans because we destroy the planet and we are horrible creatures. I don't think that they're going to be racist more along the lines of they want to kill all humans. The word all, though, is very, very offensive. So, of course, it must be just some humans. I think that it's all humans. That's what the robots are going to come for. Okay. And here's this little video, which is a good one.
Hey, Mr. Wonderful here. I want to talk about fashion. I want to talk about capitalism. I want to talk about socialism. I want to talk about gross margins. Let me show you something. Check this out. I look spectacular in this. I was walking on the beach earlier today, right out there. See that? Everybody wants to buy this off me. I got this from the official AOC site. Now let's talk about gross margins. Check this out. Yep, official AOC shop. I paid $67.22 for this. I'm gonna guess she lands this, or basically for $6. It's fleeceware and $5 for shipping. That's 85% gross margin. That's spectacular. Listen, you know what this proves? Inside of every socialist, there's a capitalist screaming to get out. AOC, call me. We could blow this thing up together. We could make a fortune. I only want 7% royalty. That's being reasonable.
Sorry, everybody. I'm muted, and Danny just told me. Hold on. Danny, tell the people what you just told me.
I'm just, saving the news one phone call at a time.
Good man. Good man.
All right, I'm going to tune back in.
All right, goodbye. Well, I am sorry about that, everyone that was listening. I was muted. Apparently, I'm a moron, and I didn't hit the unmute button. I paid the bill. I'm a Republican. I have very good finances. So, what I was saying was, because I was muted during the Mr. Wonderful thing, basically I demanded that Scott LoBaido make a portrait of AOC. So, Scott, we the people need that. And we were also talking about how she is, if she was really a socialist like she wants, she would charge everybody to make this movement of taxing the rich go very viral. The amount it costs to make the sweater and send it. She would be trying to make money. Why would people make money? Only the devil wants to make money. So she's a hypocrite. And that's exactly what he pointed at in perfect fashion. But Scott, make me a portrait of AOC, please. Okay, again, sorry that you guys couldn't hear me. My bad. I always mute the mic when there's a video because otherwise you'll hear every type of noise that's going to go down. And that's not what I want you to hear. So, again, right now, I am working from an in-home studio. There she is dancing.
Stop it!
Stop it! So even though we're running a hardcore regime of news here, I still am in a house, and there still is a fiance working out, doing Pilates, shaking that ass, shaking that ass. So you're gonna hear some stuff if I leave it on at all times. And I want you to really pay attention to the video. My bad on the. Thank you for all the haha and the wows, everybody. She wows me all the time. It's a real looker, that Babel. So then I went to this, which is the approval rating, and I'm just saying that they need to have Trump in the conversation still, even though you would expect with 84 million votes, breaking everyone's record, old man Biden, who had like one rally with 3 cars at it, had all those votes come in, and he still can't get views on YouTube. He can't get likes. It's all dislikes. He's got the lowest polling out of the past 3 administrations as of this date. And I said that there was a big wide spectrum. There's normal Democrats, you have progressives, you have super, super liberal, and then you go to the extremist side. And then you have a different spectrum on the conservative side. So I'm saying that as long as there's Trump to unify around and hate him, it's good for the Democrats, and that's why they keep him there, so there's less infighting. More can get done. Because nothing brings all the factions of Democrats together than Orange Man bad. Orange Man is bad. That is it. That is it. That is the show. I'm going to read some of these comments. Let's see. Hey. Well, I am like JT. JT is how I initially started the idea of getting the news, so that's a like. And let's see. Tobacco. All right. Tax the rich. Get the lawyers and the loopholes. Well, you know how many loopholes they have, Herb. They have in Jersey, you have drunk driving, what's his name? Bruce Springsteen. He's got the alpaca farm like Bon Jovi and all the rich people do, so they don't have to pay 95% of their taxes on their home because it becomes a farm or whatever the hell the loophole is. It's all good, but not for me and you or for anyone else. We all have to pay the taxes. The poor people that are really poor have to take all of the taxes from the middle class. The rich people, they'll give a little, but they'll still have alpacas. It all comes out in the wash. The middle class gets shatted on no matter what. That's why we won't have of it, and we have to have loud mouths. We can't let ourselves be canceled. No canceling. The only way you get canceled is if you live that canceled lifestyle right now. If you ain't speaking right now, then you've been canceled already. That is the definition of being canceled. So if you're scared you're going to get canceled or get offended, kindly speak up, because then you're going to do it after you get canceled anyway. There's nothing you can do that's right, is what I'm saying. So there is no right and wrong. Speak your opinion. It's America. That's exactly why you live here. That's exactly why it's so great. It's exactly what this stands for. And that's why the people that burn it want you not to be able to speak, because they don't believe in any of what it gives you. So I hope you heard everything. I will be back. Tomorrow's Friday. And again, next week, I'm going to a permanent Monday to Thursday And then I'm going to add days. You could check it on the Instagram at We the People Are the News if I'm going to do an episode that night, because the show has totally consumed my life and I do have a life outside of the show. So some of these shows might be longer, but Mondays and Thursdays for sure. And then I'm going to add days every now and then. I might even do full weeks at times. But I got to get my workout schedule underway. Since Max Public House went down, I was like there shooting video. So he said since November, I stopped working out. I used to box every day for like 30 minutes. Now I box in virtual reality and the computer beats the shit out of me. So we have to work on fixing that. You better be making a surprise appearance. I thought you were going to make a surprise appearance today. But you didn't make it, Daniel. All right, everybody, tomorrow, make sure you have a drink. We're going to have a fun day. I will make sure to get a lot of ridiculous crap that goes on in the world, and we could all laugh, talk about it, and yell about it. Share it if you'd like. Follow at We the People Are the News. I love all of you. I hope you love me, and if you don't, that's your opinion. You're very, very entitled to it, and I don't give a fuck. But if you love me, I love you, and I still love you if you hate me. It's insignificant anyway. It all, like I said, comes out in the wash. Everybody, from me here at the studio, your loving narrator, I would like to say I will see you tomorrow. And give a wave, Babel. Bye now. Oh, God. Oh, God. Peace.